show the world. Let them know it's Halloween.
So before we get into it, I really just want to thank you guys for 348 subscribers. In my last video, I said to be expecting something good in the next one. This is going to be it. By far my longest video I've uploaded yet, so enjoy. So I want to take you guys back to the early/mid 2010s real quick, because this is the generation that I, and I'm sure a lot of the people watching this video, grew up in. And yes, while later generations will get to explore Mars, and earlier generations got to watch the fucking Challenger explode, I got early YouTube. That is the defining feature of my childhood, right? I'm talking Smosh, Good Mythical Morning, McJuggernuggets. But the thing that I remember most about these years, the YouTube Prime, is the scary shit, bro. Well, I mean, and the porn, but the scary shit was crazy, bro. I'm sure that just by flashing up these photos real quick, a majority of the people watching this video either feel really nostalgic or just shit their pants. And strangely enough, out of all of the videos that I just showed you, these very well-known videos, only one of them really scared me, and even then, it wasn't that bad. No, I was always scared of the stupid shit, which is what we're going to be focusing on in this video. I'm surprised it took me so long to get to the actual meat of the video. So I'm thinking the way we're gonna go about this is I'm gonna start at the shit that scared me the least first, like something that I saw, you know, jeebed me out a little bit, but nothing crazy, all the way up to things that would like keep me up at night. If I had to take a piss, I was not leaving my room, because if I did, the monster of the week was gonna come out and eat my asshole as on the way to the bathroom, bro.
Low-key scary.
So I feel like we're going to start this list off with something a bit more well-known, because I have seen people talk about this one. The Kool-Aid Killer is a video that was released 16 years ago by Dane Bowe, which if that name sounds familiar, it probably should, because he made the annoying orange. But basically, the video is supposed to be like a mock-up of a trailer that would have been about the Kool-Aid Man going on a killing spree, and the reason that they give for it is actually kind of clever. It's like, nobody's drinking Kool-Aid anymore. They're all getting too old for it. They don't want all the sugar, like the sweetness of it. They show one dude that's just drinking some fucking bourbon on the toilet talking about, I hate my life, which is like, damn, bro, for the dude that made the annoying orange a lot darker than I expected. The effects in this one are honestly pretty good for a 2008 YouTube video, but I mean, obviously, it still looks a little fucking weird.
They not like us.
It wasn't all that scary, but you know what? It was memorable, so I feel like it rightfully earns the first entry on this list. So next up on the list is a bit of a weird one, but I'm sure at least a few of you guys will know what I'm talking about. Creepy Japanese McDonald's commercials is more or less a compilation of a bunch of other mini videos that I feel like one good watch, and you'll be able to tell that this shit is not real. This is not an official McDonald's commercial. And while most of these are genuinely just creepy, like the one where she opens up the window and sees him out there, chills to this fucking day. There's one where the guy playing Ronald just like runs down an alleyway, and bro's got fucking burners. Don't get me wrong, I'm not disrespecting his game at all, but like, what's the point here? What is the scary coming from?
His New Balances are double-laced so he won't trip.
Number 3 on our list is really the embodiment of how fucking stupid some of the things that would scare me could get. Sausage Head is a short film about a girl who's like cleaning a bathroom, and then she sees a clown in the toilet. He says, I'm going to eat your head because it tastes like sausage. Somehow he fucking knows that. The girl obviously is like, hell no you're not, and then tries to kill him with the scrub brush, but goes for like 3 seconds, and then he just like nods his head back, and she's like, yeah, I did it, job done. And then obviously, because I mean, like, what the fuck else are you supposed to do after killing a clown who was just popping his head out of a toilet? She decides to leave. But then on her way out, just randomly starts acting scared again. Like, bro, you just murdered the threat. Obviously, bro's alive. I don't even think a damn cockroach would have died from that attempt. But to her knowledge, he was dead. I don't know, man. This is like genuinely one of the stupidest things I have ever fucking watched. I think the only reason it would have ever scared me, even as a kid, is because of the music. But with that said, it gets the number 3 spot. And moving on to
Mid-tier scary.
So next up on our list is going to be Pringle advert, which was uploaded by Pilot Red Sun 10 years ago. One of the only things on this list that I feel like is actually understandable why it would have scared me. The video starts out with this real low, ominous music that really sets the tone before the Pringles man fades in looking like a goddamn fentanyl fiend. He then immediately starts trying to shell out his product because, you know, gotta make that band somehow. He then gets irrationally butthurt because the viewer decides, no, I want a bag of Doritos instead, and then he threatens to kill you. He doesn't outright say like, yeah, I'm gonna put you in a pack, but it's very clear he's alluding to the fact that he's going to do something about this. I watched this video once as a kid, and that's all it took. Anytime my mom would ask me what I wanted from the store, you know for a goddamn fact it was a can of Pringles. And I feel like for the fact that it like genuinely affected me in real life to a degree, it very rightfully earns the #1 spot on mid-tier scary. Now, if you couldn't tell by the videos before, clowns really fucked with me as a kid, and I mean like anything, but Ronald McDonald especially got my ass. You gotta be one bad motherfucker to hang out with the Hamburglar on a regular basis, bro. He's a criminal. The whole reason I'm telling you all this is because the next video on our list is Five Nights at McDonald's, which was uploaded November 3rd of 2014, which has got to be the most 2014 title of all goddamn time. Just throw Five Nights at Freddy's onto something and there you go. You've got 1 million views. But I, unfortunately, was one of those dumbass kids that got recommended this because of the Five Nights at Freddy's tie-in. And when I tell you this shit sent chills down my spine because it had both Ronald McDonald, creepy music, and on top of all that, a picture of Pennywise at the end of it. That's a 3-for-1, bro. But the actual video itself starts out with this young man who is clearly not standing in front of a green screen, working the night shift at a McDonald's like those bitches don't close at 10, when all of a sudden the Ronald McDonald statue that like every goddamn McDonald's had for 5 years and then they just disappeared, I really wonder what happened to those things, starts moving around. And it starts out with just like a head turn, and bro's like kind of like, what the hell? I don't know, if I'm just bitch made, I'd be out of the building as soon as I notice the thing like blink. It then stands up, and this fucking moron just sits there and watches. He does nothing to leave. The power goes out because and then he fucking dies. Whoop-de-doo. I had watched this video once and then never saw it again for years. So I was expecting something absolutely terrifying when I clicked on this. I even got Durian to watch this shit with me to see if it was worth the hype. And I kid you not, it was one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever laid my eyes on. Ronald T poses. They quite literally play the audio of Light laughing after L dies in Death Note. I know that for a fact because I could not escape that fucking audio in 2021. I'm just more disappointed by the fact this genuinely scared me than anything. Moving on to the next. This next one is probably the weirdest on this list because I genuinely have no idea what it's supposed to mean or like if it even means anything at all. Adult Dolly Dressups.wmv is a video that was uploaded June 22nd of 2011 by Mad Cat Lady. It shows a poorly rendered CGI woman in a red dress bumping that new Nedspin. And I'm like genuinely at a loss of what the fuck to say about this video. I don't know what to comment on, like, oh yeah, the way she dances is really pretty. Like, the fuck am I supposed to say about this? She hits like a mean ass sidestep, jiggies over, hits that motherfucking... We get an instant NFL replay where we see the exact same clip just slowed down, and then we get to see it sped up. Like, oh, yay! I was expecting this to be like a fun video, but no, I'm just realizing I was a sniveling pussy as a child. But with that said, nothing we've really talked about yet was anything that really had me looking over my shoulder too much. All of those you're gonna find over in...
High tier scary.
So next up on our list is going to be a bit of an odd choice because it's not really a video like the rest of them, it's a creepypasta. Stub's Clubhouse is a story that was uploaded 10 years ago by Creeps McPasta. In this story, we hear about a low-budget kids show called Stub's Clubhouse, which was in the same kind of vein as the Pee Wee Herman show. So in this story, our protagonist is just turning 14, or at least he was in retrospect, when he asks his mother if he can get a trip to Half Price Books, which I kid you not, this shit had to be sponsored, because this dude sits there and fucking, oh, they got movies. But while he's there, he comes across an old DVD set of Stub's Clubhouse. He then decides, yeah, you know what, I can't find what I came here for. I'm just gonna get this boo-boo ass booty kids show that I didn't even like as a child. And if the fact that it didn't have any kind of logo or actual branding on it wasn't ominous enough, he takes it to the desk and the woman working there goes,
Are you sure you want to buy this tape?
because we really gotta let the listener know that this tape is scary. Anyone who used to watch Hoodo Hoodlum's Revenge would be able to tell you all of the signs for a bad creepypasta, and this is just checking through them like fucking bingo. I swear to God, if I hear some shit about hyper-realistic eyes, I walk, bro. Get this, right? He notices while watching one of the episodes that the playground that they keep going to is the playground in his neighborhood, right? Which, at first, I was kind of like, oh shit, hitting close to home with this one. That's kind of good. That's kind of creepy. But then this fucking idiot just fumbles the ball. He doesn't even fumble it. He throws it on the ground by saying that the kids in the episode are the exact same kids at the park right now. They're doing the same thing. And it's like, bro, how would that even fucking happen? You bought the DVD. Shit's not even a DVD. It is a VHS tape from the 80s. Fuck you mean live stream? This is genuinely one of the most laughably cliche things I've ever heard in my life, and I'm surprised it stuck with me as bad as it did. And with that, we move on to the 2 final videos of this list, which are honestly the whole reason I even made this thing. Coming in at the number 2 spot, our glorious red-haired king makes his triumphant return to the list with Happy Meal. Uploaded to the site 17 years ago by Patrick Boivin, yet I heard while I was doing my research for this video that it was originally made in 2003. I don't know how accurate that is. If somebody could let me know, that'd be great. But with that said, there's nothing really of note at the start of the video, just a man packing his briefcase so he can leave for work. But while gathering his things, he hears a noise that I can only describe as Meek Mill's screams from the Diddy mansion. And rightfully so, he decides to get the fuck out of there. But the first point that I really have to poke holes in is like, look at this building that he's leaving, right? This is a big ass building, nearby nothing else that we can see. He had to drive here, right? But I guess this motherfucker was so panicked, he forgot about his Benny in the parking lot and just decides to jump the fence like a middle schooler. And after hopping the fence, he runs around in the woods for a little bit before hiding behind a tree like he did some shit. Like, bro, you are not in the clear. He's gonna get you. And oh my god, look at that. He's coming around the tree to get his ass. But this vampire Ronald McDonald thing must have been like an ongoing problem for this building because he just had that shit on him. He was prepared for this interaction entirely. But his dumb ass didn't get silver bullets. Bro, it's a vampire. What do you think? He also covers his face, blocking his line of sight when he shoots him. So like, dude, you could have just missed all of your shots because of that little stunt you just pulled. The man runs away. Ronald jumps like fucking Mario after him. They run around for a little bit and then Ronald gets the dubby. I was honestly expecting this one to have like a lot more to talk about if you couldn't tell by how dramatic I was when leading into these. But no, aside from everything I've mentioned, this shit has like no substance. There's nothing else to talk about. He hears a scary noise. They run around. He mag dumps him. I could kill for a cheese. There we go. Credits. Whoop-de-doo. We scared the shit out of Daniel. But the next person on our list, I know for a fact I will not have this problem with because I have had years of shit I've wanted to say about this video. Okay, so on this one, I need you guys to stay with me, okay? Because I'm being dead ass. The story of Evil Elmo, uploaded 15 years ago by Killer Yoshis. I can't really imagine how young I would have been when I was first seeing this, but I'll tell you, it stuck with me through a majority of my childhood. I'd say by the time I could officially say I was no longer scared of Evil Elmo, I was around 10 years old. And for comparison, everything else on this list stopped at like 8 max, bro. Like, this shit stuck with me. The video itself is honestly just a glorified picture show with the Halloween theme in the background. The photos start out as just regular photos of Elmo, which I find really funny because the asshole that made this was like, "This is what you think Elmo is," and then follows it up by saying, "But this is how he really is," and then shows a bunch of scary photos of him. Like, dude, you deadass just wanted to scare a bunch of babies. I also find the inconsistencies between photos very funny. Like, one photo, Elmo would be posted up with the gang, Gromit or whatever the fuck his name is was behind him, and then like 9 photos later, bro's just got him in a fucking noose. Like, what happened? This photo of Oscar the Grouch got my ass really bad because he went into my man's home and did this to him. And something extremely unrelated, yet at the same time kind of related. Look at the editing style for Evil Elmo. And now look at the editing style for this fucking Minion video I saw on TikTok. It's the same thing, right? Like, go to the comment. It's the same thing. And while we're talking about the editing style on this video, was this shit edited on an iMac from the 80s, dog? And don't get me wrong, I get it. It was 2008. Computer editing really wasn't what it is now. But the damn Kool-Aid Killer came out in January of the same year. You do not get a pass, Killer Yoshis. What the fuck is this? People panic. Are you shit? People panic. That's all you put. Round of fucking applause for this guy. Round of applause. But if you've watched my videos before, you know I'm fair. I give credit when credit is due, and I will give it to him right now. The part where the beat drops and it tells us Elmo escaped from jail used to make me want to throw my fucking phone. Loud noises can really get somebody, especially when they are used effectively. And to a small child, that is about as effective as you can get. Loud music, exclamation marks, all caps. You might as well just go be-doo-dee-doo, shit your pants, be-doo-dee-doo. And just on an editing scheme, lining it up exactly to when the music gets more intense, I feel like might have been a pain in the ass. So I'll give it to him there. He says in one part, many people looked for Elmo, but was never found. Alrighty, that's just illiterate as shit. But then he immediately follows it up with until. So he was found. There was no need to say never. Close to the end, they say that Elmo was captured and caught on fire. And the first photo's fine. It sits right at home with everything else we've seen so far in the video. But then they show us this shit. Like, did fucking Sukuna get him? Did they make bro 1v1 the sun? At the very end, bro ends up saying, no matter what you do, Elmo won't die. That shit stuck with me. The feeling of such weakness, knowing that if he came to get me, I could not kill him. That's when I deadass started working out to beat this red motherfucker's ass. It was smoke on sight if I saw him. By working out, I mean like 7 push-ups and a few like sit-ups. But I still find it baffling that I was physically training myself to beat a fictional character's ass. And if you remember this video, you probably remember the sequels that were made, Evil Elmo 2 and Evil Elmo 3, which I just recently found out were unofficial. Killer Yoshi never made a part 2. The only other video on his channel, at least today, cranked as Super Mario.
I'm laughing at your mama. Hit the Yoshi on, hit the Yoshi on, hit the Yoshi on.
And with that, we leave this list wiser and braver people. But with that said, I do want to again thank you guys for 300 subscribers. That shit is just absolutely insane to me even still. If you can't tell by how long it took me to actually upload a video celebrating this, I had no idea what to do for it. But I feel like the most common request that I do see in my comment sections is that I make longer videos. So there you go. This probably isn't going to become like a routine thing. I don't think every single video is going to be this long. But that doesn't mean I won't ever do anything like this again. It's probably gonna be a minute before we see one of this length. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you can relate to being scared by any of these videos, let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.